Well, Professor Lavie, Professor Schuster, Professor Salzberg, and Professor Kaplan, dear colleagues from the Technion, and dear colleagues elsewhere, in particular the wonderful colleagues I have here, friends in Israel. This is a very special occasion for me, more than you might imagine. Of course, it's wonderful to get a prize, and this one is really very special. One gets the impression that one's fruits of work over many years maybe make a difference. Of course, let me comment on this a little later. It's not only my work, it's work of others. Perhaps more importantly to me, it is a sign of a long-standing by now collaboration, intense collaboration with my Israeli friends. And that's very important to me. And it's great that some of them have joined me here on this occasion. And, you know, in a more general sense, it's just absolutely wonderful for a German to see a relationship come together after so many years out of the dark and have situations like this one here, or sometimes in Munich, where in summer fests of our institute, Hebrew is more common than German. And that's just fantastic. It's normality, and it's a collaboration which, of course, you as a country and as scientists do with many others, but especially for us Germans, it's a very special moment. And you mentioned the celebration of the 50 years in the Minerva. I couldn't come to this particular festivity, but I know that, say, for the Max Planck Society, this collaboration continues to be of greatest importance. Very, very clear. And not just because of the past history, but also for the quality. And that's the next thing I would like to say, that in the fields I can oversee, I'm just, absolutely fascinated to see the ascendancy and the high quality of your research, seen in Nobel Prizes, for instance, in this institution, but also just generally the quality of the work which is done here in Israel, and of course the technology which is coming from it. So that's very special. Now, I'm in a field, astrophysics, which is in many ways an old man. I'm not saying old ladies because ladies never change age, but men do. And of course, already in biblical times, astronomy was a major research area, and it still is. And it's healthy. The number of discoveries on our field are just stunning. I mean, if you think of the discovery of extrasolar planets over the last 20 years, of which we now have thousands, and we are now beginning to actually look at the planetary atmospheres and how they evolve. And it's stunning to see that what we thought was the center of the universe in that sense is a very unspecial place, very unlikely place. And so we go about this in astronomy and discover this wonderful cosmos of ours. And of course, the small-scale cosmos is just as fascinating as the large one. Now, in astronomy, the tools have changed, as they have elsewhere in the sciences. Galileo's telescope, with which he revolutionized astronomy 400 years ago, was a thing this long. Now we have billion-dollar, billion-shekel instruments in space, on the ground, requiring international collaborations of the greatest kind. And we have big computers analyzing both the data and also make simulations. All of this has changed enormously in scale, and at the same time pushes the boundary of what we humans can do. And as such, I think it shows some of the better traits we have. There are worse traits, but I mean, some of the better traits we have in exploring and the mind and pushing things forward. I, for myself, have been, I would say, extremely lucky in having had mentors. My father, for instance, was a physicist, and he was a just absolutely essential teacher for me. Just like many others, I would like to mention one in particular, and if you look at the pictures which were distributed by Mariana, it's Charlie Towns, who in fact passed away this late January this year at age 99, who's been honored for the invention of the maser in the 1964, and who is in many ways has been a father to me and shows to me how important it is to have that relationship between mentor and student and mentor and colleague to bring up the best of the research together. And in my group, in Munich. We have a very strong team spirit, without which none of what I have been honored and I'm being honored could have been done. And I thank my team and all the people I've been associated with and my friends here for all of this wonderful privilege I've had to join with them in exploration of the universe. Thank you very much.